Right on key. It's kind of got a beat to it today. The interruptions. Obi, you're getting a B-A-T-H today. Yeah. Goodness. I gotta tell you something. Come in here for a sec. The rules are made up. I know. Let's talk about it. Let's try to talk about it. I don't know what all this is about, but I know there's tea out there. I want that on the record.
Come thou fount of every blessing, tune my heart to sing thy grace. Streams of mercy, never ceasing, call for songs of loudest praise. Teach me some melodious song, sung by flaming tongues above. Praise the mount I'm fixed upon it, mount of thy redeeming love. Here I raise to thee an altar, hither by thy help I'm come, and I hope by thy good pleasure safely to arrive at home. Jesus sought me when a stranger, wandering from the fold of God. He to rescue me from danger interposed his precious blood. Oh, to grace, how great a debt daily I'm constrained to be. Let thy goodness, like a fetter, bind my wandering heart to thee. Run to all I feel, run to leave the God I
You
love.
guys want a treat? Do you want a cookie?
Kiss my
Do you want a cookie? Yeah, you do. You do.
seal it for thy thoughts above.
More pop. More pop. Okay, ready? Yes.
Kiss my
You're so good. Today is gorgeous. It's in the 60s, which is my favorite, but it's going. I planted a bunch of seeds in the garden the other day because I knew that the rain was coming. So they're in the ground doing their thing. They're laying in that state where you can't see it yet, but in faith, you're believing that they are putting down some roots, and that is very exciting. But listen, when you realize the rules are made up, it is so freeing. You know, it's taken me about 4 decades to get it. I hope there's a lot of you watching here and it doesn't take you as long as it took me. And before we have this conversation, I want you to know that I am the queen of regrets. I'm not living like that anymore. If anything we talk about today, you're feeling like, man, I'm kind of caught up in that. If the Lord God Almighty can turn my life around in the way that He has, restore the things that He has restored, heal the things that He's healed, self-crowned queen of regrets, He can do it for you. You're breathing, there's a way out. You're breathing, there's hope. You're breathing, there's restoration. That is there for you. Now, I'm an elder millennial, but I think that there's a lot of different generations that are really waking up to some of the stuff. I think that the programming worked for a while, but after a lot of things happened in the world, a lot of different awakenings happened, and people started to see a lot of things in life for what they are as opposed to what they were told that they were. And because of that, a lot of people are breaking free of the matrix and the programming. I think that's really encouraging, because I think as people break out of that, they're becoming free and realizing that they didn't even know how bound they were by all the fake rules and craziness and propaganda of this world. And if that's you and you're here today, whatever stage of that you are in, you're not alone. And I'm so glad to have you here. If you're new here and you end up enjoying today's video instead of just thinking I'm crazy, I would love to have you subscribe so that we can visit again. My name is Lee. This is the Little House on the Mountain. I'm a big fan of tea, so come have tea with Lee. Let's get outside in this beautiful weather and talk about the fact that the rules are made up. And once we realize that, it changes everything. Super quick, you guys, before we go out there, I just have to show you this. My aunt gave me this very recently. This is an heirloom. This was my grandmother's sewing box from her childhood. She pasted this in here, the wallpaper, but the very, very cool thing about this is that there is an accidental etching on the top that you can only see when you do this in certain light. Grandmother's mother one night must have written her a note on top of this box, and whatever pen she used or paper, the note that she wrote etched into the top of the box, and it says, "Take 2 of these before bed, su mama." And this box was the only heirloom that survived from Cuba to the US. I think it's so cool that my great-grandmother's handwriting is etched on this. "Take 2 of these before bed." She must have had a headache or something. "Take 2 of these before bed, su mama." Oh. So you guys will definitely be seeing this in the future, because this is now my official sewing box. I know I'm in my Anne of Green Gables Little House on the Prairie era, but how cool is this? I believe down here, yeah, down here is where it says su mama. Anyway, let's get outside. Oh, your little paws on the window. You're so cute. Now, Zion is an artist. I don't know if you guys knew this. He uses his nose to make pictures on the window, and then I have to unfortunately wash the window, and then he makes the pictures again. But lately I'm thinking he's been drawing seagulls. This one to me is giving goose. I'm not sure, but you did a really good job, buddy. I am gonna have to wash it again though. And then I expect that you will create another masterpiece. Some of you, I'm sure, will remember the magazines that were very popular in the 90s and the early 2000s, and you know exactly what I'm talking about. If you know, you know. The ones where they gave us all the grand advice on the rules, stuff that absolutely no one had any business doing. 10 ways to this, and 5 ways for this, and it was basically advice on how to manipulate your way. Ladies! Alright, I gotta get them treats. They're not gonna stop. Y'all are spoiled. All the advice we were given on basically how to conform to the system and manipulate our way through life. How'd that go? Not good for me. I don't know about anyone else, but not good for me. Transplanting mint from my dad's garden that he brought me. I love shade gardens so much. They bring me so much joy. They're absolutely stunning. And so that's what we're working on. Right, Obi-Dopes? I think people waking up at different times and in different stages to realizing that a lot of the different institutions in our world created a set of rules and presented them to us as if they were absolute truth. What people are waking up and realizing is that that wasn't the case at all. And a lot of the things that they presented to us as rules and convincing us that it was going to make our lives better actually did the opposite and have kept so many of us bound in so many ways and stuck almost on this little hamster wheel of their version of life, their version of reality. We could get deep into all the reasons why, but this is more of just an encouragement that if that has been stirring on your spirit, that you are allowed to do something different. So what they do is they say this equals progress, this equals happiness, this equals wisdom, this equals wealth, this equals health. And they lie to you, but they throw some truth in there to make it believable. And we walk around this world in these illusions, and then one day you're sitting there, hopefully, and you wake up and you say, hold on, none of these things are actually giving me what I was promised. The promise was empty. I went through the process. I did the things that they told me equaled this, and it still hasn't happened. I'm still not there. I'm on this journey, on this hamster wheel of ever chasing this thing that they said that if I did this, this, and this, it would equal this. And then you wake up to the next level and you realize the only absolute truth and the only promises that you can take all the way to the bank are the ones given by the one who created all the things. So if these formulas and this truth is opposed in any way to the truth from the one who created truth, who embodies truth, who is truth, which is the Lord God Almighty, the creator of the heavens and the earth, then something is amiss. And what I find fascinating is that so many people spend their lives somewhere subconsciously thinking that if they surrender their life to the kingship of the creator, that is somehow going to be the bondage. That is going to somehow cramp their style. And they think they have all this freedom outdoing the things in the formulas and the step-by-step program that the world has given to them. And you don't realize until you cross over into living in God's ways and doing it in His formula, you don't realize that you were presented with these things and were told that it was freedom, but that was actually the bondage. I did the things the way that I was told to do them, the way the world presented the equation. And all I got was more broken, sicker and sicker and sicker, mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually. And until I truly surrendered every area of my life to the Lord, I just went deeper and deeper and deeper into a hole. And so my whole life changed, realizing that the rules and the formulas of the institutions of this world are concocted and made up, not for our good, but for the good of someone else, for some agenda to use us for their benefit. And so much manipulating and gaslighting comes along with those institutions and those formulas, and they make you feel like you're the problem and something is wrong with you if you begin to go against those formulas. And then everyone else that they've convinced that these rules are the way to go in life, this is how this equals this, you start to go in another direction than that. The other people who are still convinced of those things, they're also going to treat you like you've lost the plot. And so they have so many of us locked into this system out of fear. Fear of not getting the dangling carrot by not following their rules, their formula, or being ostracized from everyone else in society for going against the prescribed system. And thus the shenanigans, the shenanigations continue. I just began to thrive in different areas of my life, in relationships, in marriage, in health, in femininity, in business, in finance. When I took all of the systems and the rules and turned them on their head and really examined them without fear in my heart and held them up against God's principles and promises and character. And I held so many of these things up to the light and said, okay, what in here is the truth and what isn't? And whatever isn't the truth needs to go, because it's only the truth that sets us free. A lie may convince you that you're free, but you really aren't. It is only the truth that sets people free. To start to do something that is the opposite of what you have been told or thought for so long was reality. It's scary. And it takes courage to stand up and break out of that and to begin to do something new. Realizing all this stuff that I was told, this is what's healthy. This is what's going to make you healthy. It's just a straight up lie. And this stuff that you're told, this is the stuff that's not healthy, avoid this stuff. That's the stuff I find out actually heals. And I know that because it happened to me in real life. And I just want to remind you guys real quick that my book is out, Becoming God's Daughter, Living in Identity, Healing, Daughtership, and Calling. It is my love letter to you. It is all about the Lord restores my soul. It has journal prompts and section for prayer in every single chapter. And I hope that those of you who have gotten it already are being blessed by it. I will have all that information for you if you're interested in checking out my book. It is available in hardcover and paperback on Amazon in the description box and pinned in the comments below. And so friends, I wanted to thank you so much as always for choosing to come back to our little house on the mountain and spend some time with me. If you are new here, I'd love to have you subscribe so that we can visit again. I appreciate all of you so much. And Lord willing, I will see each and every one of you beautiful and precious souls right here on the next one. Bye friends.